my health, my dear.
Alright.
Yes, so peace and grace.
Hey, yo, I had a video conference last night with Robin, Melody, Sharon, and Monica. We had a Zoom link.
Oh, that's wonderful. Let me just say for all those that are tuning in, you now have the CEO of Make Some Intelligent Noise, Justyn Wilson. Peace and grace, Allende.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing, everybody?
Peace and love, peace and love. So tell us a little bit, Allende. Justyn, what can you tell us about how you're doing with the COVID-19 inside of the prisons?
As far as I know, there's no new cases, no new spreads of the COVID as far as I know. They might have a few cases in the infirmary, but those might be sporadic. I did read the House Bill 37. They had a lot of alterations or reforms to it, I guess. So
They're called amendments. Yes, amendments had to be made.
Yeah, they made a lot of amendments basically to do as much as they could to make sure that a lot of folks don't qualify. Yeah, they definitely try to make sure that nobody gets it. They do that very often here. They do things, they might make it seem like it's geared towards one way or one thing, but they circumvent, the actual intentions by making amendments or alterations to it.
Well, anyone that has 1 year of good time credit, it would certainly apply for them. I mean, this isn't a get out of jail free card. This is to try to create social distancing during a pandemic. It's an emergency health crisis.
Absolutely. I had tried when I had wrote to the ACLU in support of House Bill 37. I explained that by the mismanagement and the mishandling of the COVID-19 situation by the prison, this could be taking years off of our life. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how many years off of the end of our life is being lost because of them. Most of us had it. So the least they can do, the very least they can do, is at least give us back 1 year of our one year of our life back earlier. There's nothing wrong with that, but they've made so many stipulations in order to qualify, in order to basically make sure a lot of folks don't qualify.
And so what I understand is they're making it non-violent offenders will be eligible for this House Bill 37.
Well, I didn't see the word non-violent, but here's the thing.
Are you eating something? Wait a minute. Are you eating?
I'm eating Fireball. Yeah, I got candy in my mouth.
Well, can you please dislodge that while we're chit-chatting? Allende, you cannot do that. You are live, honey. You have such a sense of humor.
Yeah, but I was trying to say that, they didn't say that making it non-violent as far as I can understand, but who comes to prison with what they consider a non-violent felony? They make everything a felony violent, basically. Maybe that has nothing to do with physical violence. They make it a violent felony, so who comes to prison with a non-violent felony? That qualifies everybody.
You make a very good point. I remember in our last conversation, you said a little something about they're actually having, carpenters and welders and trained vocational people who could teach classes in there. Do you still feel strongly about that?
Listen, I don't really associate with a whole lot of folks for my own personal reasons, but there are folks that I do associate with. One of them, he knows a lot about the currency exchange market, the foreign exchange. So we read books and, we exchange books together about the currency and exchange market. And he uses his video visits in order to talk to his folks on the outside so he can actually make sure he's actually making money through the foreign exchange market while he's in here. So he understands this. Why aren't they allowing him to teach others what he knows? You understand what I'm saying? People that are actually making positive choices and can make a positive impact.
Aren't you studying these things as well? Trade markets, money, stock exchange?
Yeah, absolutely. ETS, foreign exchange, all that. Yeah, yes. That's
Okay.
exactly what I'm studying.
Okay.
Because, things like this, you have to understand. For someone like me, going to college is something I could say it would be great, but it's not a lot of things that I can learn in college that I can translate into me in the outside world, because a lot of things, as far as I know, there's a lot of things that's not going to accept someone that has a felony record. Now, learning the forex market and the currency exchange and the gold commodities market and ETFs and things of that nature. It doesn't matter if you're black, you're white, you're young, you're old. Doesn't matter if you have a felony record. None of that. Doesn't matter if you pass high school. None of that. You can learn how to do this, and these are legal hustles you can do on your own in the outside world. So why not focus on things that we can actually translate into the outside world? Let us learn these things. There's people who know how to cut hair. Why don't you teach, give them the opportunity to teach barbering classes? People who know how to do tattoos, let them teach how to do tattoos, things like that. Why don't they teach trades that people can actually use in the outside world?
Yes, I understand. Well, I just have one last final question for you. Justyn, we talked about House Bill 37. We talked about the COVID, the coronavirus. We talked about trades and allowing people to teach for good time credit. But you're studying these things, and you were sentenced on a violent offense of robbery for a liquor store, and the judge said 25 years. And I'd like to know, do you feel as if you have been rehabilitated? Are you ready to come home, Allende? Are you ready, Justyn? And if so, what will you do when you get home?
Well, yes, I do feel as though I've changed, not because of anything that the prison has done in support of that, but because in spite of everything that they do to me, I changed myself. I realized I can't blame others for the problems I had. I had to look at myself. When I see myself in situations, why do I keep seeing myself in negative situations? Because I put myself in there. So I had to realize that and realize what my weaknesses were. I had to really take the time out and to not lie to myself and figure out what my weaknesses were. Why did I have these issues and how to fix them? So I had to really do some self-reflection and be truthful with myself in order to fix myself. So once I was able to do that, I was able to start making positive changes. I still have some things that I'm working on, but I think I've come a long way. I'm not as impulsive I used to be. That was one of the things I had to work on, being impulsive. So I'm not as impulsive as I used to be. I actually stopped and I think, and I'm more patient with situations. So these are some benefits that I have worked on for myself, as well as I'm studying and expanding my mind, my mentality, and I try to stay in tune with as much as I can with the outside world, so I'm not lost and outdated to the best of my ability. There's still things that's going on in the outside world. I might know that they exist, but because I'm not a part of it, there's always going to be that disconnect from me and society on certain aspects. But I try not to be too far gone. So I am working on bettering myself in many ways, and I do think that I do have a reason to come home because I want to be there for my children. One thing I don't want is for my son or my daughter, to end up in a situation that I could have helped guide them or help them to avoid. Not simply telling them, don't do this and don't do that, but by helping them to understand the importance of why not to do something, or for them to explain to me their thought pattern so I can help them see any flaws so they can avoid these type of situations. You know what I mean?
Yes. So I won't go too far into your private business because we're telling the world right now, but you do have property, you do have somewhere to go, you do have a business, you have some advantages and some resources. So when you come home, you should be all right. And 2 years of college, is going to help you to continue your education, I think.
Well, absolutely. I wouldn't have a problem with going to school, learning business, financing on a technical aspect. Always having that in the background is always great because there are things that I probably will need to know from a higher education facility. But, I was saying the things that the prison can teach here, for a very cheap rate, things that people already know. There's people who already have been to college, people who've already been in trades and fields. Let them teach what they know. And it's only going to cost, what, $100 for Friday's good time, $100 on their commissary account. They're going to spend that on commissary. They're going to make that money right back. So that's what I'm saying that the prison could do, is allow folks to learn trades. Now, I don't have no problem with going to college when I get home. I definitely intended to do that, to get my business license, because certain things might require a certain type of license or certain type of certification or authentication that I have a higher learning degree. So I don't have a problem going to higher learning, absolutely.
And so I'm just going to say this and let you go, Allende. I know our visit is very short, but is there anything that you wanted to tell the people, about anything regarding the prison? Did you want to say anything to close us out?
A lot of people, they have this thought that get tough on crime, get tough on criminals, lock them up, throw them away the key, just warehouses. They feel as though that's the best solution. But most of us, we come to prison, we have a release date. So warehousing us, you take us out of society. That takes us, away from our family. We lose touch with reality. We lose touch with a lot of things. And you don't want those type of people to be released back into society. Worse, as society progresses and technology increases, we're stuck. So you want us to learn, new trades. You want us to have rehabilitation so that we can find out what our own problems is. You take the people who already have mental health and financial issues. These people already have mental and financial health issues, and you just warehouse them, and then 10 years, 20 years, 30 years later, you want to release them. What do you expect? What do you think type of people you're releasing back into society is going to be like, unless you let them learn new trades and stay updated and relevant in what's going on in the world, stay connected to their family and loved ones, have mental health evaluations so that they can find out their own issues and start working on their own. It's not so much about the prison knowing what's in our minds, about us figuring out for ourselves so we can fix our own issues. You need these resources, because if you let these people back out with no opportunities to better themselves, what kind of people you think you're releasing back in society? It's for y'all benefit, not just ours.
Justyn, you've been absolutely fabulous. I appreciate everything that you've said, and we will definitely continue to advocate on your behalf and behalf of all people who are incarcerated. I love you. I just love you.
Love you too.
All right, baby. Hold on. Thank you for everyone that is tuned in to the CEO of the Make Some Intelligent Noise, Social Justice and Prison Reform Movement. Allende, let me hear you say it before I cut you off. Come on, baby. Say it for me.
Say what you want to say.
Make some intelligent noise.
Intelligent noise.
All right. Hold on.